Blocked again. I feel like I'm a Roman citizen and I'm just watching Rome burn and all I have is a water bucket. I'm Dani, and if you're familiar with the channel, you know that being blocked is not the only news that I bring you in this episode, so let's get caught up together. Let me explain why I was blocked this time. So this all started when people online started talking about and discussing this new $4,000 hair and makeup fee at Miss USA. Historically, when you go to Miss USA, there is a hair and makeup team. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. You can always do your own hair and makeup. I don't know about you, but in this economy, a month and a half before my pageant, if I found out that I would have to pay $4,000 for a hair and makeup team at Miss USA, I frankly wouldn't be able to use it. Now, my issue with this is that, so we have about half of the class of Miss USA crown, and when they entered their state pageant, they didn't know that in order to gain access to the Miss USA hair and makeup team, that there would be a $4,000 fee. Now here's where things get a little bit interesting. Austin Ride, who is a very reputable makeup artist, I mean, he's worked with so many title holders, so many winners. So he shared a text thread. It was this exchange that he had with Ali Lee. Apparently, Ali Lee is now the head of hair and makeup for Miss USA, which means that she is responsible for putting together the hair and makeup team at Miss USA. So here is that text thread to get you all caught up. Then Austin Ride made a post on Instagram letting all the Teen USA and Miss USA contestants know that he will be available for free hair and makeup lessons leading up to Miss USA. I thought that this was an extremely kind gesture because normally these hair and makeup lessons, especially with artists like Austin Ride, are really, really expensive. And so I like this as an alternative to the $4,000 price tag to access the hair and makeup team. Austin made this post and I shared this post because I wanted contestants to know here is a free resource if you're a state title holder that you can take advantage of. I thought that was awesome. And my question is, why wouldn't you want contestants to know about this free resource so that they can be as prepared as possible? Because it would make your organization look even better. Like the better your contestants look, better you're gonna look. I went and kind of asked around from some sources to gain some more information and history and context for all of this. And what I learned is that at last year's Miss USA pageant, that the contestants were, for the first time, as far as I know, allowed to hire their own hair and makeup team. They could bring a sponsored hair and makeup team in. It meant that the makeup and hair artist could charge them as much as they wanted. So all of the contestants back then were supposed to pay the artists, and then the artist had to pay something called a beauty bar fee. And apparently that is what is still happening this year, but the process is a little bit different. This year, the contestants are gonna have to choose their artist, pay their artist, submit that artist to the national office. Then the national office is gonna have to approve that artist to be backstage at the pageant, and they are only allowed to charge the contestants $4,000, but that artist is still gonna have to pay that beauty bar fee, and I don't know how much that beauty bar fee is. Contestants are and always have been able to do their own hair and makeup if they prefer. They aren't required to pay the $4,000 to use a hair and makeup team. Then I guess they're gonna be bringing in different artists as well, that if a contestant doesn't already have an assigned one, that you would then be paired up with somebody for that $4,000 price tag, maybe somebody that you don't know, which to me is a really big risk because you haven't had any run-throughs with them. Allegedly, that is how things are supposed to work out this year. But my question is for vendors like Austin Ride, who clearly are having like a dispute with Layla. Like, what if a contestant always works with Austin and wants to bring him to nationals to Miss USA, but the only reason that he can't be her artist is because he upset Layla, because he spoke out about his disapproval for Savannah stepping into the role of being Miss USA. That's his opinion. Personally, I think that he has every right to share his personal opinion about the decisions in the organization, and I don't feel like sharing his personal opinion should disqualify him from being backstage. And of course, the other thing I don't love is like, gone are the days of hair and makeup team sponsors that came in and took care of these contestants. I feel like that's part of the glitz and the glam. It's a part of being taken care of. That, for a lot of contestants, was like one of those little bonuses, one of those draws. It's one of the reasons that made the organization in its history so prestigious. So after I made the repost, I was blocked, and suddenly I started getting so many DMs, so many text messages from so many other people. We're talking title holders, coaches, directors, people within the pageant industry, basically anybody that has ever spoken up or out about the current Miss USA leadership. I found out that Noelia got blocked, Uma Sophia was blocked, Uma Sophia's parents, so I would also assume Noelia's parents as well. The former National Assistant Director, Christina Lee, she was blocked. What's truly ironic about this entire thing is less than a year ago, Layla made this public statement online to hair and makeup artists in pageantry. She said, "It's supposed to be a privilege that you are allowed to be a part of their nationals, not the other way around. Price gouging and taking advantage will be noted. I will be the Queen's loudest advocate. Get it together, please. Consider the time that we all have to work on getting it together." And I'm sharing these things for any potential contestants because I feel like we should be transparent about the costs associated with competing in any particular pageant system. There's always a minimum entrance fee. There's sponsorship fees. There might be required opening numbers. And I just feel like it's so important that all organizations are very clear about, here are all costs associated at the respective levels, so that you know what you're getting into from the very beginning in the event that you do win. Now, there is something I do want to acknowledge, something that I have yet to see from other systems, or at least yet to notice from other really large and respected systems, and that is that National American Miss is now disclosing their title holder contracts on their website for all to see. So they're really leading by action for the entire pageant community, and they're saying, look, there is literally nothing to hide in our organization. Everything is above board. Our contracts that we have with our title holders, they are not predatory. On the same day that people found out about this $4,000 fee, the Miss USA page posted this. It said, "Become a Miss USA approved supplier/vendor." Note, they didn't say sponsor. Hair and makeup artists, coaches, designers, stylists, photographers, videographers, fitness/well-being coaches, all who support the pageant community. The caption for this particular post goes on to say, "We're looking for enthusiastic and committed businesses that share in our passion for the Miss USA organization. We celebrate their strong business ethics as they support the personal and educational development of our title holders. The Miss USA organization represents the traditional values, accomplishments, and impact of the country's most prominent emerging market. We believe that partnering with like-minded businesses is essential to further our mission and support the incredible women who participate in the Miss USA organization. By aligning with us, businesses not only showcase their commitment to promoting integrity and empowerment, but also contribute to the growth and success of driven individuals. Together, we will continue to uplift and inspire others while embodying the values of excellence, diversity, and progress that define our great nation. Join us in this exciting journey of empowerment, growth, and celebration. We are eager to hear from you. If you are interested in becoming an approved supplier/vendor of the Miss USA organization, go to www.missusa.com and locate our new Business Resource Center and apply now. This is where you will see the approved list of businesses we stand with and recommend." As far as I know, this is the first time that I've ever seen an organization want to put their stamp of approval on any other person or entity or business associated with pageantry in general. And remember, they didn't say that they're asking for sponsor applications. They're literally asking for those that are associated in the pageant industry to apply for a sort of just stamp of approval from the Miss USA organization. Many people also found it very interesting that the bios on the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA pages were changed, and this was added to them. And I've never seen this at Miss USA. It says, "This page is monitored. Comments may be deleted or blocked." Anyone who left a subjectively negative comment or had a question about the leadership of the organization has had their comments deleted, and then they've been added to the block list. Now, for everybody wondering, what does it feel like to be blocked by the Miss Teen USA and Miss USA pages? I can tell you, here is a perfect comparison. This is like the adult equivalent of, "You're not invited to my birthday." Although I'm blocked, the only thing this prevents me from actually doing is leaving a comment on the page. And frankly, I wouldn't even bother leaving a comment questioning or criticizing. There's no point because we know it would be deleted anyways. Like, why would I waste my time? But it just begs the question, why take this course of action? What does it accomplish? What is it that Layla doesn't want myself and many others to see on the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA pages? And if she really doesn't want us to see the pages at all, she's gonna have to start blocking a lot more people. Now, I've said it before and I've said it again, the Miss Universe organization is no stranger to scandal in its long history. But in the past, people were always allowed to share their thoughts and opinions online, even if that meant questioning the choices and the direction of the organization. In the past, people were not censored or silenced on the Miss USA social media pages. And regardless of how you feel about the Miss USA or Miss Universe organization or its past leadership, you gotta hand it to them. That was quite a democratic move. This new Layla Rose era of censorship, in my opinion, it's giving dictatorship, not leadership. Today, if you question the direction of the organization,
they put you in jail.
Befriend or associate yourself with someone who Layla doesn't like,
Right to jail.
Show support towards resigned title holders,
Right to jail.
Share free resources to aid in the success of current state title holders in their journey to the crown.
Believe it or not, jail.
Road to Miss USA also released a statement about all of this, and I'll share that. You can pause to read. I was checking out some of the comments, and this page is where you can see a more unfiltered look at how people feel towards the current leadership and the organization. And also, because I feel like the Miss USA organization is currently understaffed, I'll just give you guys a little heads up here. Here's a typo on your website. I have a feeling you're watching the episode, and I really appreciate that. Now, we have to get back to this vendor application because it is pretty wild. An approved supplier list comprises companies, contractors, vendors, or individuals who have satisfied the particular quality and compliance standards within the Miss USA organization. I would love to know what those are. We are looking for enthusiastic and committed businesses that share a passion for the Miss USA organization. We celebrate their strong business ethics and support personal and educational development. The Miss USA organization represents the traditional values, accomplishments, and impact of the country's most prominent emerging market. We believe that partnering with like-minded business is okay. So this is what we read earlier. To be eligible, you must be a respected business member of your community. You must be approved by the Miss USA organization, and furthermore, you must be capable of providing fair and efficient services while following the set criteria and guidelines herein. We are eager to hear from you if you are interested in becoming an ASL of the Miss USA organization. We reserve the right to change or modify any of the terms and conditions or any policy or guideline of the Miss USA ASL at any time and in our sole discretion. Any changes or modification will be effective immediately upon posting of the revisions on our website. By continuing to follow the posted changes or modifications, you are indicating your acceptance of them, unless you provide written notice stating otherwise. We reserve all rights and remedies under the Miss USA organization. The affiliate must be approved by the team, and all rights are reserved. Now, I don't have a law degree, so I have a question. Don't all companies that have a user agreement in the US, don't they have a responsibility to disclose any changes in agreements to their users or partners or vendors in this case? I don't know about you, but I know that I've definitely got emails in the past from different services or sites that I use that inform me of the changes to their policies or our agreement, and then I have to sign off on that or approve of that or acknowledge that they sent me this information, that these changes will be made, and that I will adhere to whatever these changes are in order to continue the use of the service. Can somebody with a legal background please elaborate in the comments? I'd appreciate that, because I don't know how something like this can even be legal. I personally feel like anybody who is not on Layla's good side is somehow not going to be approved or meet the qualifications of this ALS. And so aside from weeding out who supports Layla Rose and who doesn't, then what would the real point of the list be if people like myself, or presumably people like Austin Ride, who Layla is preventing from being a hair and makeup artist at the event, like people like us, first of all, I wouldn't apply, but second of all, even if I did, I don't think that I would be accepted onto this list of approved vendors. And so if you have this list of all these people that have built a reputation, a positive reputation in the pageant industry, and they are all excluded from this list, then that to me kind of nullifies the purpose or the validity of the list at all. Now let's dive into the questionnaire for this application. So here's what's standard: your email, your name, your main contact, your phone number, the name of your business address. What services do you provide? Is your business owned by another company or individual entity? Please provide the name of all business owners. I mean, pretty standard. What are your business certifications? Are you up to date with your business certifications? How many years have you been in business? What due diligence is performed on your staff contractors before hiring? Are your contractor staff required to continue training/education? What is the size of your company? Have you or any employee previously worked for, sponsored a Miss USA state director or any other system? If yes, please explain. Do you or any other employee personally know any Miss USA staff, partners, or state directors? If so, please list below. What would you like to highlight about yourself or your business? Describe your company's business ethics policy. I'd love to see the Miss USA business ethics policy as well, in full transparency. Can you provide contact information for referrals from former and or current customers, clients? If so, please upload referrals. Does your company offer 24/7 support? Is your business a for-profit or nonprofit entity? And here's where it gets very interesting. Are you, your leadership, or any of your employees part of a community site or discussion board where negative sentiments have been expressed about the Miss USA organization through self-involvement, oversight, posting, sharing, moderating, or administration? If yes, please explain. That's a very interesting question to ask, very specific one. It's kind of like the point of the list is to weed out who will blindly follow the organization. But those are just my thoughts. Now, I don't know who read this question, but I do feel like it needs a little bit of a revision, because this little part right here that says, are you, your leadership, or any of your employees a part of a community site? That little part right there. My guess is it's going to eliminate every single applicant from being an approved vendor. The reason being is that if we're talking about individuals or small businesses, probably have some sort of presence on social media. They might have an Instagram account, a Twitter, a Facebook account, and these community sites are all places where negative sentiments have been expressed about the Miss USA organization. They go on to ask, in what state or states is your business certified to operate in? Have you or any employees ever been convicted of a felony? If so, please upload details. Are you or any of your employees a registered sex offender? And then, are you willing to undergo a background check? In his 1944 book, Caesar and Christ, Will Durant wrote, "A great civilization is not conquered from without until it has destroyed itself from within." This era of Miss USA might just become my Roman Empire. In my opinion, watching all of this happen, this feels like we're watching Rome destroy itself, because the Miss Universe and the Miss USA organization have so much prestige, especially for USA pageants. People for years have been kind of wondering, they're like, well, how could USA or how could Universe ever be knocked off of that pedestal? And I feel like this is the answer. It's the organization and its leadership destroying itself from the inside. Gosh, it's just so heartbreaking for so many of us who devoted so many years to this organization, who still support the contestants and the overall message of women's empowerment, but it just doesn't feel like that is the true message through actions that are being communicated by members of the organization. I've also seen online that the mass censorship and the blockings is only further validifying the allegations of Uma Sophia and Noelia and Claudia and just former staff members and their interactions with Layla during their time within the organization. It really feels like if you don't agree with her, if you speak out with her, if you're not willing to bend your knee to her leadership, that she'll simply silence you or remove you or fire you or just eliminate you from the conversation. And that's what it seems like she's been trying to do to everyone. As always, friends, I'm always really optimistic for organizations. I know that things can be turned around. I know that things can be improved. We've seen that with the Miss America organization. It is possible. So stay hopeful. Don't lose that hope ever. And of course, be kind to one another in the comments. Let's be supportive and encouraging of all of our contestants as we're watching all of this play out.